NFL is back, baby. Let's go. I'm so excited for another NFL season. And listen, we've got the Chiefs, we've got the Lions tonight, and I've got 3 best bets for you right now in this video, so you don't want to miss it. Let's go. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag and make some money together. Now, last night, we had another winning day on the channel. Kind of. We went 2-1 on the day. We cashed in on the Oriole Angels over. No sweat bet there. We did hit on Luis Renfro getting a hit, but Lane Thomas also did not play again. So because of that, that was a no action. So Luis Renfro hit, but you know, the other leg of the parlay wasn't there. So you did cash in, but not really on the best of odds there. And then we did lose on the Rangers first 5 money line as Scherzer got absolutely crushed. Not really expecting that, but hey, can't beat that. 2-1 on the day. Still a winning day. Can't be mad at it. You can see our year-to-date record right here. Still crushing it, trying to turn things around in this month of September, a little bit under 500, but tonight with football coming back, I know things are about to turn around for us, so let's dive into that first best bet. For my first best bet of the day, I'm going with a player prop in that game tonight. I'm going with a player prop, and I'm going David Montgomery over 12.5 rushing attempts, minus 115, pretty standard odds across the board there. And listen, there's some new running backs in Detroit. With the departure of DeAndre Smith and Jamal Williams, the Lions have completely reloaded their running back roster by adding David Montgomery from the Bears, and then also drafting Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama in the first round. The Lions absolutely love Gibbs. They're very high on him, and rightfully so. He's a very explosive player. We saw that last year at Alabama, and he's got great hands as well for a wide receiver, which you love to see. However, I don't think we're going to get a full load from Gibbs in this matchup just because, one, Dan Campbell, the head coach for the Lions, came out and already said that they're probably not going to work him for a full workload in this matchup just because they want to keep him healthy for a full 17-game season. But also at the same time, it's your first game in the NFL, your first professional matchup. They kind of want to ease you into the process, let you watch the veterans, let you get used to how the game flow happens, you know, the new offensive linemen, defensive linemen that you're going to be facing. So because of that, I think that we're going to have to lean very heavily on the veteran David Montgomery in this matchup to get the majority of the touches. The former Chicago Bears running back knows what to do. He knows how to handle a workload, and he also knows how to share a backfield as well. So even though I do think later on down the season we should see a larger workload for Gibbs and him really taking the majority of the snaps, I think right now what we're going to see is David Montgomery handle the rushing downs, and then Gibbs is going to handle the receiving downs because he's a great running back who can catch the ball as well. So because of that, I do think you can take a look at Montgomery's rushing yards over 55, but I think I'm going to go with the attempts just because I feel like the volume is the safer play of the two, and we saw him go over this total in terms of rushing attempts in 10 of 16 games last year and also got hooked twice, so really damn near 12 of 16 games in a Bears offense that certainly had a lot more rush options than this Lions offense because not only did they feature Justin Fields, who was a dual threat quarterback, but also they had Khalil Herbert as well, who's another running back who got, you know, significant amount of touches as well. And you know Jared Goff ain't going to be running the ball. So because of that, I think a lot of the touches are going to go through David Montgomery today because of his veteran presence and he's used to the situation. Now, also another thing that you want to take a look at is with the Kelsey news, the line has already dropped from 6.5 as the Chiefs being favorites down to 4.5, right? And I've seen a lot of sharps on the Lions plus the points, so which means that this line could even drop even further. And if they think that the Lions are going to cover the 4.5 spread, that means that they expect this to be a close game. I have seen some people on the under as well, but nonetheless, if this game stays close, you know running is going to be a big factor in that. It's going to be an integral part of the system and of the game plan. We're going to see this in the red zone as well, so maybe you want to sprinkle a little bit on Montgomery anytime touchdown. I think it's that plus value right now, so you can't beat that. A running back who knows how to run through the tackles, who's used to a head workload, is going to be valuable in this game and in this situation and in this matchup. So I would really believe that David Montgomery over 12.5 rushing attempts is the best play of the day. And then also, if you looked at the Lions play calling last year, they were 19th in the league in pass to rush attempt ratio, so they only passed the ball about 56% of the time, so that means they ran the ball pretty significantly as well. So I expect to see that very similar play call today, play style today. As a result, give me David Montgomery as my first best bet of the day. Now for my second best bet of the day, I'm headed to another player prop inside of this game, and I'm taking Sky Moore over 45.5 receiving yards, minus 115 odds, pretty standard across the book. And as everyone in the NFL knows by now, and any NFL fan knows, right? Travis Kelce's questionable for today's game. Does he play? Does he not play? I don't know. But even if he does play, we know he's going to be limited with that knee injury. He's not going to be 100%. So as a result, the question becomes who is going to step up for the Chiefs, especially in this pass-heavy offense. And I think Sky Moore is going to be that guy. Both the front office, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, have been very high on the second-year player out of Western Michigan. They spoke very highly of him. They love the fact that he understands the offense more and more. And we saw this last year as his role has progressed throughout the season. He started the year at the 4th, 5th down the line on the wide receiver depth chart. By the time the Super Bowl came, he was getting some minutes, and he actually caught a pass in the Super Bowl for a touchdown. So that's pretty significant. That's pretty good to see. And as a result, I like the fact that he's getting more acclimated to this offense. And we know Mahomes and Reid can be creative. And what they like to do is get the people who can be creative with the ball as well. And Sky Moore is that type of guy. A guy who racks up a ton of yards after the catch. A guy who can really make it happen in open space for the Chiefs offense. And I think he's going to get a significant amount of touches today. Now, if Kelce doesn't play today, this will be the very first time that Mahomes has played a game without Kelce or Tyreek Hill. So the question again becomes, who are the other options that he's going to go to? And with Juju Smith-Schuster leaving the team this past offseason, that leaves this wide receiver core wide open for touches for somebody to step up and take that role. Now, Marquez Valdes-Scantling is coming back for another year, but truthfully, he just kind of lacks the explosion and really effectiveness that's necessary in Reid's offense. Now, he's a great possession receiver. He's got great hands, but last year in 17 games, he had 42 receptions on 81 targets and just 2 touchdowns. So because of that, he's not really somebody that Mahomes looks to pretty often. And now when we look at Sky Moore, I think that is a guy that Mahomes can look to pretty often, because when you look at the way that Andy Reid draws up the plays, he loves to find creative ways to get the playmakers the ball, like I mentioned earlier. That's slants, that's screens, that's go routes, that's posts. Sky Moore is a guy who can make that happen. Even though we don't have a ton of stats to back up why I'm going with Sky Moore in this play, he was 5th out of all NFL wide receivers in yards after the catch last year at 6.3 yards after the catch. So because of that, even though it's not a huge sample size, it kind of lets you know what this guy can do in the open field. Now that he's going to have a lot more time on the field as a number 2 receiver, number 1 receiver, and with a lot more touches, I think that he should get 6 to 8 targets today, should be able to catch a few of those passes, get out in open space, and really be able to break open this field for this Chiefs offense. And one thing that I also liked as well, another stat that kind of came to my mind, with him replacing Schuster's role, in 9 games in which Schuster was targeted 5 or more times, he eclipsed the 45 receiving yards 8 times. So because of that, I believe that this is going to be the replacement for Schuster this year is Sky Moore. He should get the touches today in a weaker offensive lineup with Kelce banged up or not even going to play. So give me Sky Moore over 45.5 receiving yards, as this line's already moved from 43.5. I wouldn't play it over 46.5 as my second best bet of the day. Now for my third and final best bet of the day, I'm going over to the baseball diamond. I do think that you can take the lines plus the points and the under, but because the line has already moved, I would really like to take it live, and I'd rather to see what's going to happen in the live game. So because of that, I can't give any more plays in the game right now, but what I can do is tell you to join my Telegram group. The link is in the description, and that's where I'll drop some more live plays as I'm watching this game and I'm seeing how these teams are kind of acclimating. It's the first game of the season. Don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, especially on a Thursday night. We still got Saturday college football and Sunday NFL games, so make sure you're managing your bankroll accordingly. So because of that, I'm going to stay off of any more pre-game plays until I see a little bit more line movement or until I see something else later on in the day. So make sure you join the Telegram group so you can stay up to date on all those other plays. Now that third and final best bet is on the baseball diamond today, because there are not a ton of baseball games, rightfully so, because everyone's going to be watching NFL. And I'm going to take Ozzie Albies to get a hit and Cody Bellinger to get a hit, minus 115 odds. And these are two guys who have been absolutely crushing the ball of late, and I think they should both be able to get a hit today because of the favorable pitching matches that they're going against. Ozzie Albies is facing Adam Wainwright for the St. Louis Cardinals. You guys know if you've been tapped into the channel, then if you're not, smash that subscribe button. Adam Wainwright, we've been fading him all year. Every time that this guy starts, we're basically taking an angle against him, right? Adam Wainwright's given up 14.46 hits per 9 innings. That's almost tops in the leagues. And Ozzie Albies has had a ton of success against Wainwright in his career. On 11 plate appearances, he's batting 500 against him, so you love to see that. And he's had at least one hit in 21 of the last 25 games, so you love to see that as well. Batting 344 over the last 7 games, 314 over the last 15 games. Albie is definitely getting done, and I love the fact that he didn't get a hit yesterday, which means that today is the perfect day for him to rebound, and truthfully this whole Braves team to rebound, because after yesterday's debacle and letdown, the biggest money line loss of the year, year. You hate to see that. So this is a great rebound spot for the Braves today, and I think they're going to get it done. Cody Bellinger is another guy who's another favorable pitching matchup today as he faces Ryan Nelson from the D-backs, who's given up 9.67 hits per 9 innings. And Cody Bellinger is currently on an 8-game hit streak, absolutely crushing the ball. Had another 2 more hits last night with another home run. That's 4 home runs in the last 7 days for Bellinger. So maybe you want to sprinkle some a little bit on his home run prop. But he's batting .380 over the last 7 games, .317 over the last 15 games. You can't beat that. Absolutely stellar performance for my guy Cody Bellinger. So if you parlay Bellinger and Arby's to both get a hit, 2 guys who've been currently on major hit streaks, batting over 300 over the last 15 games or so, you get to -115 odds. You can't beat that as the third and final best bet of the night. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners coming your way. We haven't had a sweep just yet this week, but I feel like it's coming because NFL is back. I'm super excited. And as always, make sure you guys are staying up to date on all the latest picks and plays that I'm dropping by joining the Telegram group and subscribing to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And let's continue to make some money because college football is back, NFL is back, and we got baseball. Oh, man, I love to see that. 3 sports where we can run up the bag this year. So let's make sure we're managing our bankroll and let's make sure we're getting after it. I can't wait to see some of the picks that you're playing. So make sure you drop a comment below so this way I can see some of your picks. As always, dictate your fate. Let's get to that cheddar, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Later, y'all.